has made it the currency of choice for ransomware attacks and dark web markets. Stage 1 was barter. I'll trade you my goat for your wheat. Stage 4 was fiat currency. Paper money backed only by government promise. Cryptocurrency. Digital money backed not by governments, but by mathematics and computer code. You'd have to do it on more than half of the millions of computers worldwide. In 2010, a programmer paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. Today, that same Bitcoin would be worth over $600 million. Let that sink in. 2 pizzas, $600 million.
Wait, what? That can't be real. That's insane.
Oh, it's very real. His name was Laszlo Hanyecz, and May 22nd is now celebrated as Bitcoin Pizza Day. But here's the thing most people miss. That transaction wasn't about pizza. It was proof that a completely digital currency, with no government backing, no bank oversight, could work as real money. Sounds like a cautionary tale about wasting money on crypto to me. Actually, Jack, it's the opposite. It's the birth story of a financial revolution. And today, I'm going to explain exactly what cryptocurrency is, how it actually works under the hood, and why some people think it's the future of money, while others think it's the biggest scam in history. Before we dive into crypto, let me ask you both something. What is money really?
It's cash? The stuff in my wallet?
It's whatever the government says has value. You're both partially right, but here's the deeper truth. Money is just a story we all agree to believe. Think about it. That $10 bill in your pocket isn't valuable because the paper is worth $10. It's valuable because everyone agrees to pretend it's worth $10.
So you're saying all money is kind of made up?
Exactly. And money has evolved through stages. Stage 1 was barter. I'll trade you my goat for your wheat. Stage 2 was commodity money. Gold and silver coins that had inherent value. Stage 3 was paper money backed by gold. Stage 4 was fiat currency. Paper money backed only by government promise. Stage 5 was digital banking. Those numbers you see in your banking app. And now we're entering stage 6, cryptocurrency. Digital money backed not by governments, but by mathematics and computer code. Mathematics and code? That sounds even more made up than regular money. I understand why you'd think that, and we'll get to the dark side later. But first, let me explain what makes cryptocurrency fundamentally different from everything that came before. Let's break down the word itself, cryptocurrency. Crypto comes from cryptography, the art of hiding information to keep it secure. Currency means money. So cryptocurrency is simply digital money secured by advanced mathematics.
But I already have digital money. My bank account is just numbers on a screen.
Great observation. And here's the crucial difference. When you send money through your bank, you're asking the bank for permission. The bank checks your balance, approves the transfer, and updates their records. They're the middleman, the gatekeeper. With cryptocurrency, there is no bank. When I send you Bitcoin, I'm sending it directly to you, peer-to-peer, with no middleman taking a cut or having the power to say no. But if there's no bank, who makes sure you actually have the money you're sending? What stops people from spending the same Bitcoin twice? And that, Jack, is the million-dollar question. Actually, the trillion-dollar question now. The answer is something called the blockchain, and it's the genius innovation that makes all of this possible. Imagine you and 10 friends decide to play poker, but nobody trusts anybody else to keep score. So what do? You give everyone their own notebook. Every time chips change hands, everyone writes it down simultaneously. If someone tries to cheat by changing their notebook, the other 9 notebooks prove they're lying.
So the blockchain is like a shared notebook that everyone has a copy of?
Exactly. But instead of 10 friends, Bitcoin has millions of computers around the world, each holding an identical copy of every transaction ever made. And here's where the block and chain come in. Transactions are grouped together into blocks, like pages in that notebook. Each block contains three things: a list of transactions, a unique digital fingerprint called a hash, and the hash of the previous block. What's a hash? That sounds like breakfast food. Ha! A hash is like a digital fingerprint. If you change even one letter in a document, the hash completely changes. It's how computers can instantly tell if something has been tampered with. Now, because each block contains the hash of the previous block, they're all chained together. If you try to change an old transaction, that block's hash changes, which breaks the link to the next block, which invalidates every block after it.
So to cheat the system, you'd have to change not just one block, but every block after it too?
And here's the kicker. You'd have to do it on more than half of the millions of computers worldwide, simultaneously, before the network adds a new block every 10 minutes. The computational power required would cost more than what you could possibly steal. That's why Bitcoin has never been hacked in its 15 years of existence. The math makes it essentially impossible. Okay, I get how it's secure, but who maintains all these computers, and where does new Bitcoin actually come from? This is where mining comes in, and it's one of the most misunderstood concepts. Miners are people who connect their computers to the Bitcoin network. Their computers compete to solve incredibly complex mathematical puzzles. The first computer to solve the puzzle gets to add the next block of transactions to the blockchain and receives newly created Bitcoin as a reward.
So miners are literally creating money by solving math problems?
In a sense, yes. But here's the brilliant design. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, ever. The reward for mining gets cut in half every 4 years in an event called the halving. In 2009, miners got 50 Bitcoin per block. In 2024, they get only 3.125 Bitcoin. By the year 2014, the last Bitcoin will be mined, and miners will only earn transaction fees. Wait, so unlike the dollar, which the government can print endlessly, Bitcoin has a hard cap? Exactly. This scarcity is why some call Bitcoin digital gold. Gold is valuable partly because there's a limited amount of it on Earth. Bitcoin took that concept and made it mathematical certainty. No government, no corporation, no individual can ever create more than 21 million Bitcoin. The rules are built into the code itself.
So if I wanted to buy Bitcoin, where would I even keep it?
You'd use something called a wallet, but here's a mind-bending truth. Your wallet doesn't actually hold any Bitcoin. Remember, all Bitcoin exists only on the blockchain. What your wallet holds are two keys, a public key and a private key. Keys to what? Think of it like your email. Your public key is like your email address. You can share it with anyone so they can send you Bitcoin. Your private key is like your email password. Never share it with anyone, because whoever has it can spend all your Bitcoin. This is why you hear horror stories about people losing fortunes. James Howells, a British IT worker, threw away a hard drive containing 8,000 Bitcoin in 2013. It's now worth over $400 million, buried somewhere in a Welsh landfill.
That's terrifying. Why would anyone risk that?
Many don't. That's why most beginners use exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, which work more like traditional banks. They hold your keys for you. The trade-off is you're trusting them not to get hacked or go bankrupt, which brings us to the dark side of cryptocurrency. Let me tell you about Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, because it's a cautionary tale everyone needs to hear. In 2022, FTX was the second largest crypto exchange in the world, valued at $32 billion. Sam Bankman-Fried was on magazine covers, meeting with politicians, being called the next Warren Buffett. I remember hearing about this. Didn't it all collapse? Spectacularly. It turned out FTX had been secretly gambling with customer deposits. When people tried to withdraw their money, there was nothing there. $8 billion gone. Bankman-Fried is now serving 25 years in prison, and millions of people lost their life savings. This wasn't a problem with Bitcoin's technology. The blockchain worked exactly as designed. It was good old-fashioned fraud, enabled by the lack of regulation in the crypto space.
So crypto is basically the Wild West? No rules? No protection?
In many ways, yes, and that's not the only risk. Let's talk about volatility. If you bought Bitcoin at its peak in November 2021 at nearly $69,000, by November 2022, it was worth only $16,000. You would have lost 77% of your money in 1 year. Then it shot back up to over $73,000 in 2024. This is not the behavior of stable money you'd use to buy groceries. That's exactly why I think crypto is just gambling dressed up as investing. You're not entirely wrong, Jack. And there are more concerns. The environmental impact is massive. Bitcoin mining uses more electricity than entire countries like Argentina. Scams are everywhere. In 2023, Americans lost over $5.6 billion to crypto fraud. And the anonymity that crypto provides has made it the currency of choice for ransomware attacks and dark web markets.
So what's stopping another FTX from happening? What protects regular people?
Honestly, not much yet. Unlike your bank account, which is insured by the FDIC up to $250,000, if a crypto exchange steals your money, you may never see it again. This is the fundamental tension in cryptocurrency. The freedom from banks and governments that makes it revolutionary is the same freedom that makes it dangerous.
This is a lot to take in. So should people even consider cryptocurrency?
Here's what I want you both to remember. My rule of 3 for cryptocurrency. Rule 1. Understand before you invest. The blockchain is genuinely revolutionary technology. But buying cryptocurrency without understanding it is like buying a house without seeing it. Know what you're getting into. Rule 2. Only risk what you can afford to lose. Cryptocurrency is not a savings account. It's not even a normal investment. It's highly speculative. Never put in money you need for rent, bills, or emergencies. Rule 3. Security is your responsibility. If you're not holding your own keys, you're trusting someone else with your money. And if you are holding your own keys, one lost password means everything is gone forever. There's no customer service to call. I have to admit, the technology is more interesting than I thought, but I'm still skeptical about it as an investment.
And I think I finally understand what people mean when they talk about blockchain. It's not magic. It's just a really clever system of shared record keeping that doesn't need anyone in charge.
You've both got it. Whether cryptocurrency becomes the future of money or fades into history, understanding how it works makes you smarter about all money. Because at the end of the day, every form of money, from gold coins to dollar bills to Bitcoin, only works because enough people agree it has value. Cryptocurrency just made that agreement transparent, mathematical, and impossible to change without everyone knowing. Now, I want to hear from you. After everything you've learned today, do you think cryptocurrency is the future of money, or just a high-tech bubble waiting to burst? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one.
And if this video helped you understand crypto better, hit that like button.
Subscribe if you want more deep dives into how money really works. Even a skeptic like me learned something today. Until next time, remember, the best investment you can make is in understanding. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and I'll see you in the next episode of Uncle Mike's Money Files.